what are some of the logistics, concerns, questions that people need to be thinking about when it comes to those particular, or biomass in general?
First, I've looked up miscanthus grass. I know a great deal about switchgrass because they wanted to put that here. And switchgrass is invasive and will spread and is toxic to horses, goats, and makes them lose their hair and die. And it also holds 7 times the chlorine that wood does. And chlorine is, of course, a catalyst for when it's mixed with any metal in the water. If you look up the water that you have in Jasper, it will contain all these trace minerals.
Right.
That's a catalyst for dioxin, which is the most toxic substance man can make. And it is entirely created according to the EPA. All the dioxin in the world comes from smokestacks of incinerators.
Yeah.
So we were very concerned about that. It travels through your food chain. It's not something you breathe in. It doesn't bond to water. It travels through it and bonds to the fish. It will bond to grass, and then the cattle will eat the grass, and it goes directly into breast milk and is in a woman's body.
Right.
And is most effective on children who then become mentally damaged or die. And it, you know, it's a nanoparticle. Your water companies, filtration systems cannot remove it. It's too small, and it's not removed at all by any of the equipment at an incinerator because it's a nanoparticle.
Right.
One of the concerns I have about it is that I can't find an air application for anyone burning it.
Yeah.
It's just too new.
Right.
So, you know, the first thing to do with the wood biomass plants was we looked at the applications from Massachusetts and other states that had them operating for 20 years. And then we found all of the chemicals, and with miscanthus grass, they're experimenting with it at the University of Illinois. There are studies done there, and you can purchase the results of those studies, but I don't know that they list emissions. It's like the biomass here for burning wood, Purdue was backing it, and they had done studies. And when we looked closer, we found switchgrass studies from the University in Iowa. And, you know, they were very damaging, those reports. But the reports don't seem to be available yet on miscanthus grass. So what are the emissions? I don't know that the people putting in the plant know. They're going to have to know to fill out an item application. They have to list every single emission in tons per year. So how does that work when you're burning something new? You know, I find reports online, they're burning miscanthus grass in England.
Right.
I haven't been able to find something like you know, an application to pollute in England, but what I'm finding are bloggers saying things who live by them, saying, well, all the fields here are dead, and it stinks outrageously in the area. Yeah, a woman in Cornwall, I was reading last night, and I'm thinking, why can't I find this particular substance being burned in the United States? That's going to be a problem, that you can't get actual emissions from another plant. I compared, the questions I asked were, your plant is half the size of the plant here. We know all the emissions exactly for the plant here, exactly what it takes in and its throughput, as I call it. So I simply, it's half the size, I halved the numbers. If this plant takes 500,000 gallons of water a day, I can assume that yours uses 250,000 gallons a day. So the question is, does Jasper have 250,000 gallons a day to burn? to simply pollute and burn. Will it prevent the growth of Jasper? I know you're growing to the north, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the north is
Yes,
also
yeah.
where all this emissions are going to go.
Right.
All your new neighborhoods.
Right.
You know, the acid rain level from burning biomass, the sulfur oxide,
Mm-hmm.
is equivalent to coal. The nitrogen oxide, the NOx, is higher than coal. The particulate matter, which is what gives you asthma and contains all the toxins, is much higher than coal. And if they're doing this to be green, it actually releases, with burning wood, 1.5 times the CO2. It's causing
Mm-hmm.
global warming that coal does.
Mm-hmm.
And coal is our leading cause of global warming.
Mm-hmm.
So